Whoever thought till about a few years back that we would actually be staying in a stranger's home, let alone sleep in a stranger's bed? Let me put this in context. Till about a few years back, the hotel industry had a serious, what we can define as a 4A's problem: availability, adaptability, accessibility, and affordability. And to exactly counter this, these were typical pain points that the customers had with the hotel industry, with the hospitality industry. And to counter this, a brand came up and designed a product experience that would serve and alleviate and find a solution to this customer pain points and Achilles heel. Okay, what they did was they created a product experience which is designed around trust. They offered multiple options for end users for either short-term stay or long-term stay. They gave them options of having it for a static lifestyle or for a nomadic lifestyle. They also wanted to kind of serve both the leisure traveler or the casual tourist and the business traveler, while at all times remaining cognizant, respectful of their purchasing power. I need not tell you, you would have already guessed it by now. The brand is Airbnb. And in spite of a pulverizing pandemic over the last a little more than 2 years, Airbnb, as of May 2022, stands in terms of valuation at a whopping almost close to 100 billion, 98.2 odd billion. Okay. So here is a classic case, an example of a brand that actually found a solution to a very, very identifiable pain point of a customer, and not only served it, but served it so well that they are one of the tops and one of the most successful brands ever in the last 200 years of enterprise, whether it is Europe or America or even the rest of the world. What we witness today is a game of surplus and deficit. There is a surplus of goods, services, products. It's almost commoditized, and solutions, and there is definitely a deficit of time, attention, resources, and purchasing power. Zig Ziglar had mentioned some time back, very, very famously, a wonderful quote: "You can have everything in life that you want, provided you help other people have what they want." The story is not very different from in the case of the most successful brands, be it, say, Uber, which actually came from a genuine problem that the founder at that time, Travis Kalanick, one of the founders, had a problem in terms of getting a taxi to get to the airport. So getting a taxi to the airport is something that we have all experienced, and he set out to find a solution to address a genuine pain point which is applicable across all geographies, irrespective of which part of the world you were. And then you had this really, really Uber success of Uber as we all know it. So if you look at the two key pillars of brand success, let me state the obvious. One is your brand or product or service or solution genuinely alleviating and addressing a customer pain point? One. Two, is your brand communication actually doing enough to garner trust and gather the attention? Probably the other way around, gather the attention and build trust. This would be I would call the Tweedledee and the Tweedledum of building brand success. You have multiple examples of brands actually finding a niche, finding a gap in the market which will alleviate a customer pain point. Tesla is another very, very strong case in point. It identified a need wherein customers wanted to be associated with something that is sustainable. They wanted to make their own small little dent in the climate change issues that is very, very apparent and obvious. So Tesla cashed in, and the fact that there are more and more, it in fact actually kind of rewrote the script of automobile marketing, that they went into production only after giving almost $270 million as booking fees. Whereas the automobile marketing was always done based on first you market, then you bring out a product, then you do marketing, then you do sales. Here he completely kind of, Elon Musk reversed the entire trend of, he did the sale first, then he did the marketing, then he actually accumulated the resources, and then he went into production. The classic case of, if you are identifying a customer problem, there is enough going around in terms of a minimum viable audience who wants to kind of who's probably getting far more motivated to try out your product or service or solution, and you get your minimum viable audience, which is a critical threshold level. Early adopters, and then moving on to early innovators, early adopters, late adopters, etc., etc., etc. If you permit me a bit of Psychology 101, it is said that the brain remembers what it least expects. So deliver the unexpected. All of us are aware of the IDCA. Probably it was called IDA earlier, attention, interest, desire, and action. We've got a C in now in between, which probably stands for conviction. The attention, interest, desire, conviction, and action. If you get the customer's attention from you through your communication, then you're starting on a journey of wherein eventually she's in a position to pay for the kind of product or service or brand that you're offering. In conclusion, allow me to add a famous quote by the iconic Seth Godin, who said, "Don't find customers for your products, find products for your customers." Thank you.